is a C. So you build this chord by putting a finger on the second fret on the fifth string. Then you put another finger on the second fret on the my apologies, the third fret of the second string, the second fret of the third string, and then you skip a string, and then you put your finger on the first fret of the fifth string, or the second thinnest string, is a C. This chord is interesting because you can let go of some of your fingers and play them again in order to get different sounds from it. Like, right. So that's another thing about chords. That's why I'm showing you this shape. This chord is interesting because it means that if you play with the chord shape, you can express yourself in different ways. Then, what you call it? We have an A major. So the A major is kind of built from that A minor shape we talked about earlier. But you just move this finger that's on this fifth string or the second thinnest string, and then you move it up a semitone. That's an A major. So now I got A major, E major, and then a C. Do I really want to teach a dominant chord yet? Oh, we'll teach a dominant chord. It can't be that difficult. I hope you should be pausing this video just trying to see if you can get it under your hands. And this stuff you can also look up as well. Hold on. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll teach you all this one too. This next chord is going to be, or this shape is going to be kind of like a triangle. Pretty much just make a triangle shape from the, you start with the second fret on the second string. Then you put a finger on the first fret of the third string, and then you finish that triangle shape by putting another finger on the what you call it, the second fret of the fourth string. You just play those three. Well, actually, no, you can play that open string too. That open string down there, you can play that with it. Play that A major. Notice that this A major is just a line. You shouldn't play this string, but I don't really think it matters. Right? So that's what we got right now. We talked about C, how to build E, the different forms of E, which is E minor 7, E minor, and E major. How we can move that shape down to get an A minor, and then how we can get A major from A minor by moving this one up one fret, and then this triangle shape. Which is interesting because if you move this triangle shape and move it down, that's a prettier version of this A chord right here. pretty. So, what can you do with this to be musical? Play that triangle shape that's that starts on this string right here. This what you call it? This second string. Move that triangle shape down, or play that A major shape. I'm gonna play that A major 7 shape. That's what it's called. And then go to that E. Right. That's another. Oh, I guess I could talk about that too. Um, the cool thing about that A major shape as well is that if you play a whole step over it on the it's got to be either on the fourth string, the fifth string, no, the third string, fourth string, and fifth string. If you focus on that middle string, that's gonna give you that root note sound. This right here. That's the minor for. That's just to say that I'm just trying to show you the nature of these shapes. I know I'm kind of just playing around, but all I'm trying to say is that with shapes that you can play with them to get different sounds, and that's how you see all these guitar players doing really complex stuff. Most of them are following a framework that isn't that difficult to learn if you just take the time to memorize the shapes and the patterns and whatnot. But that is lesson one. Lesson one is talking about just learning the shapes. So practice is learning the C campfire chord. Look up campfire chords online. You'll see a C, and it kind of just looks like a diagonal line, kind of. You'll see E, which is that first shape that we talked about that we built from E minor 7 and E minor. That's E major. You're going to see A minor, which looks exactly like E major. And you're also going to see A major, which looks like just a straight line, just a straight line of 3. Super easy to learn. You'll probably also see G. G is cool because it's like C. You forget this finger right here. You forget it, just these two. You just play it like that. I mean, of course, if you want to play this last string, you gotta add that finger. It's the same fret, same strings, because both these strings are the same one. That's G. It's gonna be hard to get these under your hand, but a good practice is just figure out the shape and just take your hand off, hand back on, wax on, wax off. You should be able to build all these shapes from just putting your hand on your lap. That's the best practice for it. This has been the most effective practice for it. When you're able to do that, you can do things like hop up, especially if you practice like bar chords and stuff. You know? So, coming!